I feel like this happens every once in a while, but I was trying to convince myself not to record another thing every time something big happens. But a lot has been happening recently. In my eyes, at least. Maybe not really, but yesterday felt like shit. Um, just like in the morning of yesterday, I was practicing my script, and is that drawing still? And man, this shirt looks really weird. I don't have any more clothes right now. They're on the wash. I'm just wearing stuff I don't usually wear. And I was just looking over my script yesterday morning because on Friday we had um, a 100% line test. Like, memorizing the entire 100% of the entire script. I didn't know we had that until like a day prior. So, practiced that day. Had the line test. I did okay. I would prefer to do better. I usually get 100, but if I get a 96, it's not that bad. But every time I made a mistake, whether it was if I could remember the line or the cue, or if I just messed up the line a tiny bit, or if I just said something weirdly, friends next to me, of course, were gonna comment on it. That shouldn't do anything to a normal person. That shouldn't mean anything. But I hate it whenever that happens, especially in theater, because everyone's fucking better than me. They're always gonna act like they're better than me. I know they are. And it's so annoying when it happens all the time. So I felt so even just getting a 96 felt terrible to me, and I spent the rest of that class not talking to anyone. So yeah, practiced my script yesterday, looked over it, and just sat there thinking about everything. And yeah, I was thinking a lot about that kind of stuff. And then I go downstairs later. I don't remember what for, but then my mother tells me that she hadn't gotten any work the entire week, and so she hadn't got paid that Saturday. And we were supposed to go grocery shopping. We do every Saturday, and God, my head is shaking weird. And she also has, so she doesn't have any more money for like the week. Wasn't paid for it, but now there's like a bunch of bills for like several things that for like various days throughout the upcoming week, all by Friday, and she doesn't get paid until next Saturday for all her work. So she's gonna struggle with that and with the grocery shopping, and that got me really worried. And so the entire day I was already, uh, and like generally there was nothing good about the day. It was very dead sort of day, nothing going on, and I really didn't enjoy it. But I was thinking a lot. I told two of my friends about it. I told friends about like some way I was feeling about this kind of stuff. How stressful it was for me since the very beginning. The day I auditioned, I'm stuck with the stress of comparison to my friend, and then later, all the other people in the class, and then as a freshman, I have to pick up a senior after having never picked up someone in my entire life for my very first play. Already stressful. And then right after that, the 10-minute play where I kept having to re-characterize a character I didn't even understand very well every single day, up to minutes before getting on stage. More people were telling me to re-characterize it differently again, and I still couldn't get the character. And that was just such a stressful play for me because it was once again a bunch of blocking I couldn't figure out how to do because I wasn't used to it, and the character I didn't understand who kept having to be characterized in other ways I couldn't get. And fucking my friend, once again, who I auditioned with and talked a lot about on this channel, but stress with, they're still like trying to get me to do better, and I hated every comment they gave me. What did we? I don't even remember the first play of last semester. was that? Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that was okay. I, but then we had the Christmas play, and that one was really stressful for me because I kept getting put in scenes between very professional people. Of course, my friend, again, who I always compare myself to, who in my head was always a professional actor, had an agent, got acting classes before this in other places, and already had better opportunities. Because in my eyes, this person was middle class. I'm not even middle class. We're lower than that. And and like has already gotten a lot of acting opportunities outside of this. And another person who was in a musical, like that got to like perform like a big musical that performed somewhere downtown the city and is now already up in drama 4 after one semester. Where obviously Holland, our teacher, already saw greatness in this child. This person was already doing good. I'm put between these two people and another actor who was taking that class way more than I have. And then constantly, I couldn't figure out stuff I was going to do. I wasn't good at this stuff. And so I kept getting complaints and comments from these actors constantly, every single scene that I struggled with, and then criticisms from Holland every single day, and even in between scenes about stuff like that, and how I was taking too long doing it. Shut up. And like how... And so that was a very stressful play as well, and it was so like emotionally and mentally draining, that specific play especially. And I had to pick up one of my friends and carry them around. That friend I was comparing to again, so they got to do so many complaints about how I'm not doing that properly and it's uncomfortable. And we had to redo it several times. And I was carrying it with another person, so it kept on the switch between, okay, I'll get the legs. No, I'll get the arms. Every time they got me back to being at the legs and tried to figure out a new way for me to get them from there, I genuinely, one time, I was trying to figure that out. They're like, whoa, don't do that. I'm thinking, fuck, I just assaulted my friend in front of a bunch of people. Like, that's not a, hey, you're not doing that right. That's a, whoa, don't touch me there scream that they did. It was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I've never carried a person. Finally, they let me, the guys teach me how to carry from the arms, hold them up, which was already way easier to handle than the legs, even if it was heavier. And better spot, but still, carrying from the arms is so much heavier than the other side. You're carrying like their center of mass right from the torso, got their whole head, balance that around. It's so much more weight that one day, or like 1 or 2 days straight, I almost passed out during rehearsals. I tried to keep myself from passing out or just collapsing, because if I fall down, this person goes down with me, and they're yelling at me for it, and everyone's gonna be mad at me for not keeping them up, because everyone loves this person, not even kidding. But the next day, I almost collapsed twice during rehearsals, and then rehearsals finished, I got to my seat, and I did collapse right there. And through all of that, I thought I was gonna have a panic attack when we actually got on stage. But then my teacher told me he saw greatness in me before our first play. Minutes before it even, or an hour, something like that. It made me feel good. I no longer felt like I was gonna have a panic attack on stage. After those plays finished, that washed away. I saw how I did, and I was thinking, they were okay plays, could have done some things better, but gradually, as more things go on, I'm remembering all the stuff that happened, realizing, why did he tell me that? And the way things are still like supposed to, I don't know. I just don't think he stands by that anymore. So, it was all very stressful, so I told... Hold on. So, I told one of my friends about that and told him, junior year is probably going to be the last year I'm in theater. I'll probably drop out after that, even though I don't like any of the other electives. I don't know where I would go. I stayed in theater because of the people. That's the entire reason. Because I don't think I'm good anyways. But then that friend, who I've told a lot of stuff about, and then keep wanting not to, and then getting upset at, and then resolving stuff, and then not knowing how to deal with it. Of course, all that old comparison stuff. They figured this out because I talked to them about it. They're just like, oh, I didn't realize you felt that way. I'll stop giving you those weird comments. They know I don't like apologies, so they literally said like, not gonna make an apology because I know you don't like that stuff. Because I don't know what to deal with that stuff. I don't know what. I've never been trained in my household or how I was raised to know how to accept or give an apology or thanks or a compliment or an insult. When any of that stuff happens, I freeze. I go silent. I don't know what to deal with it. It's horrible. Today, I don't even remember what happened through today. Still a bit upset from yesterday, but then today a lot of things happened. My mother took my phone and was gone with it for 5 hours today, doing what I don't even know what she did to my phone. I genuinely have no idea. I wouldn't get a straight answer if I kept asking her. I asked her since yesterday because she said she was gonna do it. Stuck here without it, and then like kept being bugged by my family while I was trying to work on the project. I was trying to work on a bleach dye hoodie. I was trying to do that yesterday when I decided right before I'll do that, I'll read over my scripts again, and then all that happened and I never got any work done. So I tried today. My bleach is gone though. My mother took all of my bleach. I had 2 containers and she took it. So I spent like somewhere under an hour searching for it all over the house, and I keep being bugged by my family as it's happening. I'm so frustrated, and I can't even work on it because I don't have bleach. I go to my room, I got so much pent-up frustration. It doesn't even feel enough to cut myself. But just in case, I'm looking over there right at the blade. But try not to. But I really don't want. I just feel like I need to break something. There's so much stuff I could have broken in here, but I told myself not to. I'm not breaking my record player down there, which I was looking at, because shit is expensive. I really like it. Nor will I snap that vinyl or pull the strings out of that bass, or what else could I break in here? I also didn't have this iPad here, so I couldn't even do that. Stuck with nothing. So I got a bunch of paper scraps and random pieces of felt. I went outside with a lighter and a few matches, and I burned them outside. And then I got caught because apparently there was another camera outside that I didn't know was ever there, that was directly behind me and caught the whole thing. My mother watched me do the whole thing. She puts cameras in places. She doesn't tell me. I just have to find them for myself. I hate it. It's horrible. Anyways, I was thinking throughout the day, like, man, I really wasted this day, and I hate when I do that, and I just feel like, what am I doing with anything? And I'm realizing, I don't even know what I'm going to do with my life. Holland occasionally asks us questions in the morning. He's been doing that this semester now. We all got to answer something. The last one he did last week was like, what's your plan after high school? Like, what are you going to do in college or whatever that stuff is? And I realized, I don't have an answer. I realized a while ago, I don't know if I'll go to college or not. I know I should, and I've been told my entire life I should. What will I do there? I don't know what I'd take, and I don't know what career I would get afterwards that I would need to do stuff in college to get to there. I don't know what I'll do at all. I'm not peaking at high school. I'm at a median, and it's just gonna go downhill from there. I just know it. And I can't accept happiness. I don't like anything positive at all. So if I ever get mentally better, for some reason, I'm just not gonna take it. And think, like, and then if I'm not gonna take it, I'll feel horrible, and then think, as an adult, I'm an adult. I'm not an angsty teenager. Why am I still feeling this way? And I'll hate myself even more. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was thinking more about my diagnoses. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to figure out that I thought I had. I was thinking like some form of depressive disorder. bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, psychosis, ADHD. I knew I had Tourette's. Is that it? I wrote these down. Yeah. And of course, thus didn't get diagnosed. My shrink told me he thought I had ADHD but never diagnosed it. He just put Tourette's, generalized anxiety disorder, no, unspecified mood disorder instead of bipolar or depressive, and unspecified psychosis, which I'm not allowed to have any form of medication for, nor the Tourette's. I think he just didn't trust me after my previous habits. Thinking, why do I have psychosis all of a sudden? I randomly remembered when I was really young, when I used to still play Roblox, and that stuff was fun. Before video games randomly started to bore me. I don't know why they do, but they do. I played this one, like, Minecraft-based game on Roblox, whatever it was, with some friends I made, all the time. And for some reason, I saw this weird shadowy figure in the caves after a while. I couldn't explain it, but I kept seeing it. It was only in the game. I'm not saying this is psychosis, but it was weird how I felt like I could communicate to it, and I was talking to it the exact same way. I could talk to the plant that used to be on that table. I talked to that plant a few times. I hated it. It hated me. I did not like that plant. It felt the exact same way. I talked to the plant, it freaked me out, and I hated it, and it's gone now. I let it die, and it's gone. My hand hurts. I didn't like it. It was really weird, and I don't know how to explain it. It freaked me out a lot, and I didn't even want to go near it because I felt that it was moving. Slightly, but it was moving. Not even just like with the airflow. No. See, I didn't like it. I was thinking, how long has it lasted? Have I had like slight things like that, and then it just caused by like, because that was like probably 6th grade. There probably was still that sort of weird stress stuff going on. I got a lot of social anxiety by 7th grade, and 6th grade was like one of the years of that weird dinner stuff with my mother, that trauma. So there probably was still some slight stress that had the tiniest bit of just making stuff up to calm my mind down. That last year, random false prescription abuse with something I wasn't even supposed to take that my shrink just wrongfully prescribed me with, ruined it, because I heard that a lot of things can cause psychosis. It was heightened by paranoia and stress and trauma, but I think it might have started so strong because of the abuse, because I hear that is a really big cause of psychosis. If a teen abuses, it happens. It didn't keep happening just because of that. Hell, that's just when it started. Those things never made it worse. It just started when I started taking those. What made it worse was the paranoia and stress and trauma. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about other things I tried to get diagnosed with, like bipolar disorder. And I always remember random memories every time I think about this. Why I really thought this, because through the entirety of middle school, I thought I had this, because it was that bad. So, hold on. I keep thinking I'm hearing my family out there. I've known long ago, through like last year, I don't think at all this school year, prescription abuse, cutting myself, that kind of stuff happened. Around that time, I also bit myself a lot. and would leave my hands under boiling hot water when I was frustrated about stuff. Stop doing all that stuff. Um, Before that, when I was in like middle school, maybe even fucking elementary school, I don't know. When I was really upset about something, all of a sudden I needed to get rid of that sort of frustration in some sort of way. I broke stuff a lot, and if I wasn't trying to break something, I would like bang my head on a wall, bang my hand on a wall, bang my hand, bite myself, scratch myself, pinch myself. Stuff like that. So, it was always in some sort of way a part of me. I always did that just to like get rid of frustration. But when I was in middle school, I remember I would very easily get upset at when I was upset at people and not just something that was happening on its own. I would start yelling at that person a lot, or throwing stuff at them, or hitting them. And it was really bad. It got so bad that after 8th grade, I tried to work on my anger and make sure I didn't break stuff or yell at people. And I don't really know where it went. Because when I'm not breaking something, I will still trash this room whenever I'm upset. But yeah, I was talking to one of my friends earlier, thinking about it, because yeah, there were a few times when I threw stuff at my friends, or I actually hit them because I was upset at them. So I asked him, because he was one that like really started to figure that I'm probably bipolar. I yelled at him a lot. I told him, like, I remember I yelled at you a lot through middle school when you upset me. I don't think I ever hit you or threw stuff at you. Did I? Because I know I did do that to people. I don't think I did it to him, though. As far as we can both remember, nothing serious. So that's good. But yeah. But I was thinking about this other friend I had a while ago. We called him Fleming because his first name was shared with 2 other people in our middle school. Fleming, we kind of knew him, me and my other friends. He was always just like by himself during recess, never with anyone else. Very lonely, and he was always just nearby where we usually were, so we kind of knew him. And they would insult him a little bit, make fun of him. So when I got into art class, he was also in my class. He was sitting with me, and I continued it. I made fun of him, insulted him, or made jokes at his expense just because it was fun. And because that was just how things were. But when sometimes I would genuinely get upset at him, and he was one of those people I would yell at or genuinely curse at. In front of everyone, out loud, I would yell and swear at him a lot. And I hit him or threw stuff at him a lot. The art teacher liked me, though. Even before I was in the class, he saw me drawing, he liked my art. And I joined his class, he still liked my art. I was a good student in there. I turned stuff in. I did the art, and I was fairly good at it without needing too much help for a lot of it. Sometimes I did have to ask, but like for the most part, no. So he just let it happen. He never told me off for it, not once. I don't know why he did that. But yeah, my thought was that like this kid, I think he might have just let me insult him and make jokes at his expense, and was even fine with me like hitting him and throwing stuff at him because he didn't have a lot of friends. He didn't really have anyone. So if I was having fun making jokes about him, then he was just gonna stick around because that's all he's got. I realized how sad that is. I never asked him about any sort of personal stuff, but I know that I'm realizing there was definitely personal things. Oh my god, I'm remembering some stuff now because I remember he watched his father die when he was a kid. He watched that happen. I never made jokes about that. That's just a shitty thing to do. Someone made fun of him for that one time. I wasn't there for that. That was on the other side of the room. I was working on something, but then we were talking about it because it had just happened, and so he was like genuinely crying when I went over there. It's like, holy shit, that's horrible. I think, yeah, this is correct. I remember he told me that, like, because some of the main jokes we made were like fat jokes. He was a generally fat kid. He pretty much admitted that when he was younger, he was like, he got depressed at his father dying, and so he ate a lot because of it, out of like stress, and that's why he was fat. I'm now realizing there was a lot of stuff like a lot of personal stuff happening with him that I never asked him about because I didn't talk about that kind of stuff with anyone. I didn't know I could back then, so you guys can. And yet he let me insult him and hit him because, in a way, I was his friend, and even the year after that, I joined advanced art class in 8th grade, and he was in there too. He wasn't good at art. He was only in that other art class because he got randomly assigned it. But now he was in this advanced one because he told me the reason he did that was because he knew I would be in there. I actually was good at art and enjoyed it. So he knew I was going to join advanced art in 8th grade. And that's why he was there. Now realizing, yeah, he really did cling to me because I was, in a way, one of his few friends. I feel really bad about that. Thinking about it now, as much as I will get really easily upset at someone or something. I will get really sad at just a slight thought about something, or something bad happens. I might very quickly just get over it. Like, someone's apologizing about something that I was genuinely upset about, and all of a sudden I've gotten over it, and I don't know how to deal with the apology. So I'm just trying to ignore it. Like, yeah, never happened. It's all good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That happens a lot. I genuinely think I'm bipolar. Nothing can convince me I'm not, honestly. But I'm realizing now, I told my shrink deliberately, I want something to stop Tourette's, and I want something to deal with psychosis, because that stuff freaks me out. Outside of that, I was good at dealing with other stuff, and I didn't need the other stuff. But I'm now realizing, after experiences like that, I really should have been taking medication. I really should have something for bipolar disorder. Even though I don't like being positive, it always feels weird to me when I get over something that someone is now trying to apologize for, because now I can't deal with the apology well. I was never taught how to deal with that, and it's very overwhelming to me. And I don't like feeling happy. It never feels right. Like, I want some way to deal with being upset, but I don't want to stop feeling upset because something doesn't feel right about that. It never feels right when something's going right, or when I feel good about something. For some reason, all of a sudden, I no longer enjoy it. I don't enjoy being happy. But at the same time, if that's how I was acting, I think it would be for the best that I took something to not be as bipolar. I think that would have been within my best interests. I feel really bad for that kid. how do I deal with that? Realizing I made fun of a depressed kid with no friends throughout middle school. What was wrong with me?